Okay. Kindly focus onto the screen, please. So in today's sessions, we are going to learn about the POS. As just now, I have told you the POS stands for point of sale. What exactly this system is all about? This is basically a kind of a systems which is used in F&B service outlet. F&B outlets. F&B outlets means these systems can be used in the room service. This particular software can be used in the coffee shop or any kind of an billing purpose of the banquet parties and all. How come this particular system is going to be related to the other departments? This particular system is directly connected to the front office department, to the F&B controller department, to the account department, and to the rest of the other departments also. Like if your F&B managers or the F&B director is sitting in his or her office, then by sitting in the office itself, by using this particular POS systems, he can easily be able to find out the sale of that particular restaurant, and he can easily be able to see like which all the tables are running in the restaurant. So here we have taken the easy software of by the name of EasyBurp. So I am just starting this particular POS software. As it is showing two things. One is the real system environment, and it is the next one is the sample practice data environment. So here we have taken this particular POS, you can say that the software from the Easy System company, and that's why they have given us the authority to use the practice or training purpose system only. So we are going to select the second one. So now this particular software has opened. Now in front of you, as you can see, EasyBurp is there, and the system is asking to select the user. So basically here we are going to select the admin user only. But exactly once you would be in the hotel industry, you are going to pick your own ID. Your name will be there. Like if your name is Amaranth, your name will be there, Amaranth as a steward. So you are going to enter into the systems by your ID only. You will not have to enter the systems, or you will not have to open your systems by some others' IDs. You will have to use your own user ID, and you will have to log in by using your own user ID only. Why I have been saying you like you will have to enter by using your own ID? Because whatever the order, being at the level of the stewards, whatever the order that you are going to place, that particular whole order at the end of the shift, in the final report, when the final report will be generated and will be presented in front of the F&E managers, the F&E managers will come across to know like this so and so steward has on a particular day or on a particular date has punched or has taken the order of this much of an value. So by keeping that view in the mind, the management will come across to know like which particular steward is more efficient compared to the others, and based on this only the promotion generally takes place at the end of the financial year, and even the bonuses along with the, you can say that the increment will be decided based on that only. Next very important aspect is the rights which will be available to the steward will be different compared to the rights which will be under the user ID of the captain. Likewise, the rights which will be under the user ID of the manager will be different. In order to make this point very clear, let me to give you one example. Like the steward can take the order, the steward can punch the order, the steward can generate the KOT of the order. But once the KOT has been generated, after that, the steward cannot void any item from that particular order, from that particular KOT. So the void rights is basically the rights which has been given to the captain or the supervisor of F&B service. Likewise, till the time the receipt has not been generated, I am giving you a simple example. Along with that, there could be some other rights also. So moving to the captain, like once the bill has been generated, once the check has been generated, once the receipt has been generated, after that, according to any kind of a complaint you are getting directly from the guest, and you want to cancel that particular item from the final bill of the guest, so that can also not be done with the ID of the captains. For that, the ID of the manager can only be used. So according to that, for every designations, there must be different rights. So here we are focusing onto the working IDs, or the things which are under, you can say that the rights of the stewards and under the rights of the captain. So we will use the admin only, and then we will go for the login. So once we will go for the login, after that the select outlet will come. Like if you are working in the coffee shop, and if the name of your coffee shop is All American Diner, then you will have to pick that particular outlet. If you are working in the room service, then you will have to pick the room service. If you are working in fine dining Indian restaurants, or maybe the Italian restaurants, by the name of that Italian restaurants or the Indian restaurants, you will have to enter into that particular outlet. Right now we are entering into Massimo Ristorante. It is basically a kind of an Italian restaurant. Then we will go. Then we will like click the OK. Once we have clicked the OK, so many different options will come in front of our screen. As you can see here, dine-in option is there, takeaway option is there, delivery, room service, no charge, advance order is there. For the time being, we are going to learn the dining options only. Dining options means the guest has come to the restaurants and the guest has occupied the table. So once we have entered into the dine-in, now let's refresh the things that we have done. First of all, we have opened the shift. After opening the shift, we have entered into our ID. After entering into our ID, the next step would be to open the outlet. After opening the outlet, we are going to see the view of the tables. Here on the screen, as you can see, it is table number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and till 15. So approximately 15 tables are there. So let's take one example. Now the guest has arrived to the table number 2, right? So we will have to pick this table and we'll have to click on this table. This particular software is both applicable for desktop computers or for microsystem also. What is basically the microsystems? In the microsystems, you would be having the touch screen monitors, and you are not going to use you can say that the mouse or the pointer. Apart from that, you will have to just use your fingers and you will have to touch the screen of the systems. That is basically called the microsystem. The software will remain the same. So this is EasyBulb software, can be used both for the microsystems and it can be used for the desktop system also. So now I have been assuming as if the guest has arrived in table number 2. So here it is MD2. So here I am going to click. The moment I am going to click the MD2, it is going to ask some of the informations. If I know that particular information, if the guest is regular, then I need to fill that informations on this particular format. If that particular guest is not regular, then obviously I will have to leave these things blank. Like if I know the name of the guest and the guest is quite very regular, and whatever the information that I am going to feed in this regularly basis, that particular all the informations is just is supposed to be get compiled, and it is supposed to be get like it is supposed to be get generated through the systems during the night time, and that is basically done by the night auditor uh, while working in the front office. So here the first name, like the name of the guest is like maybe the name of the guest is Abraham Loni, right? Next, here I have to like put the number of guests, like the guest is 2 and number of the children are 2. Next, I need to put the remark. Remark means whether the guest is VIP guest or VVIP guest or maybe business class guest. And here I need to like put the citizen ID. If I know the citizen ID, then only, otherwise I need to write down the country of origins. Maybe the country of origins can be American. Maybe that particular guest is belongs to the America. After that, I will finish. Once I will finish, then the information regarding the guest has already been fed. Automatically, it will take me to the KOT part. KOT part means from here I have to pick the, you can say that from here I have to pick the food items or the dishes which is basically been ordered by the guest. So here, if I consider like it is the lunch time, so obviously the guest is going to start with something light, something in starter. So here in the starters, I have picked one crispy potato skin. Again, the moment I am going to press this crispy potato skin as a starter, it is going to ask me the quantity, right? So here I have been choosing the quantity to be 1 only. So here 1 serving crispy potato skins price is 855. So the new KOT has been generated. So moving to the main course, in the lunch, I'm going to have, or the guest is going to have the grilled chicken breast. So here 4 peoples are there, 2 adults are there, 2 children are there. So here I'm going to pick 2 only. The moment I am going to pick the grilled chicken breast, the basic accompaniments for any kind of a grilled chicken breast would be some potato dish. So ultimately, it is going to ask me which particular potato items I am going to serve along with the grilled chicken breast. And while taking the order from the guest also, I will have to make it confirm if I have the options. As here, in this case, you have so many options. You can give boiled potato also, you can give mashed potato also, you can give chips also. So there are so many options are there. You can give to the guest. So here, as like the 2 orders were there, so I have added 2 basic accompaniments. One is the mashed potato, another one is the chips. After that, so here grilled chicken breast, 2 portion of a grilled chicken breast, with 1 portion the guest is going to have mashed potato. Here the price is 0. Why the price is 0? Because mashed potato is basically the accompaniment of 1 grilled chicken breast, whereas chips is again here the price is 0. It is again, you can say that the accompaniments of the next chicken breast. So the next order the guest wants to have is Mexican chili with rice. Here again I have been picking 2 quantity. So this 2 quantity have been picked. And next, maybe in the dessert, the guest wants to have like 2 portion of a fruit salad and maybe 2 portion of, or maybe 2 portion of any kind of a cake. So here I have punched the orders. Now I have not actually converted the order into KOT. Right now the KOT has not been generated. The KOT will only be get generated once I am going to print this order. As you see on the left hand side down corner, there are two buttons are there. One is finish, another one is print and finish. The moment I am going to press print and finish, automatically the order will be get generated. So now let's just review the order that we have placed. We have in the starter, we have placed one crispy potato skin. In the main course, we have placed two grilled chicken breast. One we are giving accompaniment as mashed potato. With another, we are giving the accompaniments as chips. Next, we are giving two portion of Mexican chili with rice. We have in the dessert, we have two portion of an fruit salads and two portion of an cake of the day. Now, let's take simple example. In the cake of the day, there are two varieties are there. You have pineapple pastry also, and you have strawberry pastry also. So in the cake of the day, while generating this or while converting this punching order into the QT, you want to specify to the chef, like the guest wants to have two portion of an strawberry cake only. So, or maybe two portion of an pineapple cake only. So in that scenario, you will have to first of all select the cakes of the day, and then you will have to see in the bottom. In the bottom, we have change quantity, here add modifier, here preparation. So in the preparation, you are going to select, the moment you are going to select the preparation, you will have to select, like here, it is about the flavor. So we will select, we will type pineapple. So the guest wants to have pineapple pastry. Then we will finish. So now when the QT will be generated in the bakery, the chef is going to see that particular QT. On that particular QT, two things will be mentioned. One would be two portion of the cake of the day, and the flavor would be of a strawberry. Likewise, in case of an grilled chicken breast, we are going to select the grilled chicken breast, and then we will go for its preparation part. This is basically known as modification of the order. We are modifying the order. And there we are going to write down, the guest wants to have it more spicy. So here we will write down more SPICY, more spicy, and then we will finish. So now also, when this grilled chicken breast QT will generate in the kitchen, under to it, more spicy will be written. So automatically, the grilled chicken breast will be served by the kitchen peoples, but they will try to add slightly more spices into it in order to make it more spicy. That's how the modification is done. Next, if you will see, there is a second logo. If you will see at the bottom, there is change quantity. In the change quantity, let's for take simple example, while placing the order, maybe now the guest wants to, as far as the cake is concerned, now the guest wants to change its quantity. The guest is feeling like it has become too heavy. Now the guest wants to change that particular quantity into one. Now the guest wants to have two strawberry, rather than two strawberry pastry. Now the guest wants to have single only. So we will select that cake of the day, and then we will go for this quantity. The moment we will go for this quantity, here we are going to select one only, and then we will finish. Automatically, in your punching order, in your QT, the number of the items has been reduced from 2 to 1. Now, we are printing and finishing it. The moment we will press this print and finish, now whatever the order that we have punched, now it has been get converted into QT, and it will be get generated in the printed format from the kitchen. So now if you see on table number 2, so now in table number 2, this particular sign or the symbol has been appearing. And if you will see on the right hand side, you can see the order or the QT order of the guest. So here again, I'm repeating, the guest has placed, see, different kind of an order. Now, again refreshing the things we have covered till so far. We have learned like how you'll have to start the pause. Then after starting the pause, we will have to enter into our own user ID with our own user password. After entering into our own user ID, then we'll have to enter into the specified outlet of the F&B service. After entering into the specified outlet, we will have to pick the respective table. After picking the respective table, we will have to enter the guest details. See, guest details are basically not mandatory. In some of the organizations, it will be there. In the rest of the organizations, it is generally being avoided. Yes, after entering into the guest details, then we will go for punching the order. And while punching the orders, we can change the quantity of the order also, and we can do the modification of the order also. Here, the modifications basically means for any kind of in preparations, if the guest wants that particular, I've been talking about the main course. For that particular preparations, the guest wants to have it more spicy. Then while punching that particular order, while placing that particular order, we'll have to go to the modifier and we'll have to modify the order. And in the preparations, either it is called modifier or either in some of the POS system, it is called preparation. And while selecting the preparations, we'll have to change the requirement of the preparation, which is according to the preference of the guest. So till this particular things, we have learned a lot. Now moving further. Now just take the second scenario. In the second scenario, now the guest is sitting at table number 2 and the guest is not finding comfortable while sitting out over there. And the guest is requesting you to shift the guest from table number 2 to table number 7. Now I have to change the table. So how come am I going to change the table? First of all, I will have to select the table number 2 only. While selecting the table number 2, after that I will have to go to the left hand side. If you will see different logos on the left hand side, the first logo is all table, second is related to this receipt, third is my order, fourth is table lock, next is show order time, next is table transfer. So we'll have to pick this table logo. We'll have to pick this table kind of a logo or sign, and we'll have to click it once. And the first is order transfer. We'll have to place the order transfer. Now it is asking like which order transfer? The order that has been placed. I will have to select this order. And then I'll have to select the table number. As the guest wants to move on to the table number 7. So likewise, here table number 7 is there. This table number 7 I'm going to select. So first I have selected the order number or KOT number, which is 84, and then I have to select the table number 7, and then I have to finish. The moment I am going to finish, now as you can see on the screen, all the items which were earlier there on table number 2 has now been shifted to the table number 7. So this is what is known as the shifting of the table or moving the items from one table to the another table. Now, taking one more thing. Now, while having the food, the guest wants to place some more order. So what that will be called as? When, like for take simple example, the guest is going to have the murg makhni, and the guest had placed an order for 2 butter naan. But now the guest wants you to increase one more portion of the butter naan. So that particular order would be called as running order. So now again in this running order, the guest wants to increase one more portion of the grilled chicken breast. So again we will go to the same table number, we will click the table number twice. The moment we are going to click the table number twice, as you can see here, it has been showing running order. It has been showing running order, right? Once it has been showing running order, then you have to go to edit KOT, not have to go to new KOT. Because in the same KOT, we want to place the fresh order. We want to place the running order. You'll have to go to the edit KOT. And again, it is going to show you the KOT which has already been generated. And in this KOT, you are going to again select, you will have to go to the lunch, you will have to select the grilled chicken breast, one portion. Accompaniments, maybe this time the guest wants roasted potato, and then you'll have to finish. So here, if you see, Here, one grilled chicken breast with one portion of a roasted potato. You have punched the order. Keep one thing in your mind, until and unless that particular punched order has not been generated in the kitchen, has not been printed out, the printout of that particular order has not been generated in the kitchens, it won't be called as an QOT. So once I will again press print and finish, now it has become the QOT. Now as you can see, the grilled chicken breast order and 2 portion of grilled chicken breast order. So altogether there are 3 portion of a grilled chicken breast order. So by this we have also learned about the running order. What is the meaning of the running order? Running order means while having the food, the guest wants to place the order. Now moving to one more instance. Now after having too much of an food items, the guest is saying like it is more than enough. And now the guest wants to cancel some order which was basically related to the dessert part. So again, we will go to the QOT, we will click the table and we will go to edit QOT. After going to edit QOT, we will go for the fruit salad. Now the guest wants just one portion of the fruit salad. We will select that fruit salad and we will go with change quantity. Or maybe we will go for the removing the item, right? So we have selected the fruit salad and we are just removing this item. Why? Because the guest has already filled a lot and the guest has filled his appetite, and now the guest don't wants to have 2 portion of fruit salads in the desserts. So we will cross it. We will void the QOT. This particular void options, once the QOT has been generated, will always remain in the hand of the captain. So once I will go, just considers I am here entered into this particular systems with my user ID. So I will only be having the rights to void once the QOT has been generated. So it is asking reason. You want to void the items. It is asking for the reasons. And I have to select the reasons like a data error or maybe customer satisfactions or maybe the guest don't want to have their guest cancel the order. And then I will press finish. So if I will see here, 2 portion of the fruit salad has been cancelled by the guest. So that's how the cancelling and everything has been done. Again, we'll have to print and finish. So now if you see in this whole QOT, there is no order of the fruit salad at all. So now let's refresh all the things that we have learned today, and still a few more things has been left out that we are going to deal with today only. Like first we have learned like we will have to enter into the POS systems with our own user ID. Will after entering into the POS system with our user ID, then we'll have to select the outlet. We'll have to enter inside the outlet. We'll have to select the table on which we want to place the order. Next, we'll have to fill the detail of the guest. If you know, otherwise you can skip that part also. Then you will have to punch the order, and then we'll have to you will have to take out that QOT of that order by printing that order. The printout will come out in the kitchen. In the meantime, I have also shown you how to change the table, how to change the items from one table to the another table. Next is how to modify the items. What is the meaning of modification, or how we are going to write down the preparation for one particular order. Along with that, I have also made you learn like how you are going to change the quantity, or how you will have to cancel or void the order. That is called voiding the order. Now moving to the next part. In the next part, now the guest wants you to present the bill. The bill is to be called as receipt also. The bill is to be called as check also. Now the guest is asking you for the check. So now we are moving to the second part, in which we are going to present the check to the guest. So for that, we will have to again click it twice. After clicking it twice, it is asking 3 to 4 options. One is you want to make the receipt. Yes, we want to make the receipt. You'll have to go to making the receipt. So again, this particular receipt will appear in front of you. Now take one example, like while making the receipt, the guest is the member of your restaurant. The guest is carrying the membership card. And in order to carry that membership card, the guest wants to avail the discount. And what that particular membership card says, if the guest is carrying the platinum membership card, then he is entitled to have the 10% discount on the overall bill. So for providing the discount, so right now it is the KOT only. Now it has not been converted into the receipt. So now before converting into the receipt, we will have to give discount. As you can see in the lowest section, this percentage discount is there. So I have to click this discount part. Right now, if you see, the amount of the bill is somewhere around 9599. Is somewhere around 9600 in a rounded figure. So I will go to the discount part, and here food discount 10% is there. So I have to pick that food discount percentage and I have to go with apply. Again, while applying, the system is going to ask me, are you sure you want to give 10% discount only? Then I will say yes, finish. The moment I am going to finish it off, it is going to show, it will automatically reduce that particular 10% amount from the earlier amount. So now, as you can see, the bill has become 8764. Now I am going to print and finish the bill. Now I have printed and finished the bill. Now the bill has been printed. As you can see on the right hand side, here the name of the guest is Abraham Lodi and the receipt number is 183 and table number we know very well, it is MD7. That is table number 7. So table number 7 is there and receipt number is 183. Now the receipt has been printed out. Now the steward will basically go to the guest and he or she will collect the cash or maybe the card or whichever the way the guest wants to do the payment. Now after this, as we have entered into the dine-in, now we will have to go for the transaction part. This is the second part. In the transaction part, we will have to go to the receipt and we'll have to click it twice. After clicking it twice, here we'll have to see where is basically the table number 7. If you will see in the second last part, there is MD7, which is table number 7, and we know very well. Here it is 183. 183 is basically the receipt number. So we'll have to select this receipt 183, and here if you will see, so many different options are there. First is reprint label option is there, reprint KOT option is there, reprint add gratuity order is there, split order is there, void is there, recall is there. So we will recall. Recall means we will see the preview of it. Once we will press the recall, again it is showing everything, whatever we had actually punched for that particular table. And we'll have to go through it properly. We'll have to see, is there any error in this part? If there is no error, then it is fine, no problem. So we can go, after recalling it, again we can go for print and finish if there is no error. And even the discount, 10% discount has already been given. Now moving to very important part. Now you have presented the bill to the guest. After presenting the bill to the guest, now the guest is requesting you, the amount of the bill has to be splitted into 2. Like if the amount of the bill is 1000, the guest wants you to split that bill into 500 amount. Right? Such kind of situations may also appear. Like if the guest want to present that particular bill to his or her own office, and the guest is going to get the reimbursement from the office of that particular specified amount. So the guest will request you to split this receipt or to split the check, then you will have to go to this split option. You will have to first of all select the receipt number, that is 183, and then you'll have to go to the split option. The moment you are going to click the split options, it is going to give you three options. You want to split this particular bill in two bills, number of slips 2 or number of slips 3. You want to divide this particular one receipt into 2 receipts or 3 receipts or 4 receipts likewise. Now here we have been dividing it into 2 different receipts. Now it is going to ask the further questions. You want this particular bill to be split equally, to be split according to the amount, to be split according to the quantity. So here I have been trying to split the bill according to the quantity. So the moment I am going to pick the quantity, automatically it is going to ask me, I have to pick these items. So I want crispy potato, grilled chicken breast and mashed potato in one bill, and the rest of the things I want to be get separated into another bill. So then I have chosen the items that I want to split, and here I will press the split receipt. Okay. So now I have splitted the 2 receipts. In one receipt the amount is 3,442. In another receipt the amount is 5,322. And these items were actually being selected by me only. And once I have splitted the receipt of the same table number, I have splitted the receipts in terms of N2, then I will go with the finish. Now, if you see precisely, if you see properly, here now you can see in table number 7, just second last and the third last. Here now you have 2 receipts. One is 183, another one is 184. Why 2 receipts are there? The one within quantity of 4276, another one with the quantity of 5322, because we have actually splitted this particular receipt. So after that, once you have got, now we'll have to go to the last part. The last part is basically related to the settlement part. After showing the receipt or the check to the guest is going to do the payment. The payment can be done in different formats. The payment can be done by the card also. There we'll have to write down, or there we'll have to note it down the information which is inscribed on the card. Second is the guest can do the payment by the cash also. Third thing is the guest can do the payment by settling that particular bill into his or her room also. So here we will first of all pick the receipt, and then we will post the settlement. We will go to the settlement. Once we will go to the settlement, here it is asking the guest wants to settle by check, the guest wants to settle by Visa card, the guest wants to settle by MasterCard. So whichever the option that we are going to pick, according to that we'll have to fill the information in the systems. Now there is one more thing. Now the guest wants to give you some tip. That tip is called gratuity. So here if the guest, while receiving that particular check, in the check itself, and the guest wants to do the payment by the cash, in the check itself the guest has returned 100 rupees tip. So in the gratuity you will have to write down 100 rupees. Once you will write down 100 rupees, automatically the amount is going to be get increased. And even if the guest is going to do the card payment, the guest is going to do the payment through the card, all the money will directly go to the bank, and ultimately all the gratuity is going to be again resent by the bank to the hotel, and the hotel is going to distribute that particular service charge or the tip amount to all the stewards, captain and the managers according to their point value. So here I have added the gratuity, and I am going to print the receipt. Now if you see, one bill is settled. Now again in the table number 7 there is one more bill that has been left out. And if you will go to the dine-in also, in the dine-in also, again in table number 7, if you see again this particular cash thing is showing. It means you cannot punch more order on this particular table. Reason being why? Because this particular table till now has not been settled yet. So you will have to settle the bill first. So again, you will go to the receipt part, and there you will see on table number 7C, still one particular bill has not been settled. Again, you will have to choose that particular receipt number and you will have to go for the settlement. Here the guess is as the table was the same, here you are not going to add any kind of an gratuity or the tip to the stewards. You will just go with the so now the settlement part is over. Once the settlement part is over, now you are going to see the table again. Now, if you are going to see the table again this particular red spot is coming. The moment I am going to click it twice, it is showing you want to clean the table. Yes, I want to clean the table. The moment I have cleaned the table, if you will see, now the table has become clear. The table number 7 has become clear. So in today's practicals, you have learned a lot more things. You have learned a lot. You have learned a particular process by which a steward, captain, or even the manager generally operate in the, you can say that the POS systems. Again, like refreshing right from the start. First of all, you will have to open the shift through that POS system. Then you will have to enter into the systems by your own user ID. Then you will have to select the outlet. Under the outlet, you are going to find the tables. You will have to pick the tables on which you want to punch the order. The moment you are going to click on the table, there you will have to fill some of the required informations related to the guest. If you have that information, do fill it. If you don't have the information, you can skip that particular part also. And depending upon property to property, in some of the property, like filling the guest information is required, in some of the property, they generally obsolete this kind of things from their overall software. They generally customize the software according to their own needs. After that, you will punch the order according to the preference of the guest, and then you will have to go for the print option. The moment you will go for the print options, then only the QOT will be get generated. While generating the QOT, you can modify the QOT also. You can change the quantity of the dishes in that particular QOT also. And there is one more thing that you can do after printing the QOT. You can also place the running order on that particular QOT. What is the meaning of the running order? Running order means while having the food, the guest wants to place some more order. Like the guest is going to have the, you can say that the dal makhani with that of the 2 butter naan. Now the guest wants to increase the quantity of 2 butter naan with that of 1 more butter naan. So that will be called as running order, because once you are going to punch the order with the modification of running order, automatically the chef is going to give that particular running order priority. The chef is going to make that particular butter naan quickly, urgently, on the urgent basis. That's why it is called running order. Apart from that, you have also learned how to change the table. Then after changing the table and all that, you have also learned when the order has to be void. While voiding the order, you will have to write down the reason also why you have been voiding that particular order. And after that, you have also learned how to generate the receipt of that particular order. Once the receipt has been generated, you have also learned how to split that particular receipt. Splitting can be done equally also. Splitting can be done amount wise also. Splitting can be done dishes wise also. Quantity of the dishes wise also. All the options will be there. Once you have splitted the receipts, then you will have to present that particular receipt to the guest, and after that the settlement will be done. Once the settlement will be done, only in that particular case, that particular table can be get cleared. So